Today on the menu is a Parsi dish known as Dhansak. Usually it is made by cooking mutton or chicken with a combination of lentils and vegetables. But today I will be making the meatless version of Dhansak. It is served with caramelized white rice that is cooked with whole spices, along with a simple cucumber tomato onion salad that adds a wonderful freshness to the dish. All coming up in detail. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. We will first make the Dhansak dal. These are the dals that I have used. A cup of tur dal, that is split yellow pigeon peas. Then 2 tablespoons each of red lentils, that is masoor dal. Chana dal, that is split Bengal gram dal. And moong dal or yellow lentils. I combined them together and rinsed them 2 to 3 times with cold water and then soaked the dals in 2 cups of hot water for about 30 minutes. Out comes my pressure cooker. You can even use an instant pot or you can make it in a pot if you do not want to use a pressure cooker. But in that case, the cooking time will be much longer. Then the veggies go in. Pumpkin. You can even use butternut squash or carrots if you dislike pumpkin. Then eggplant and potatoes. Do not like eggplant? Then substitute it with zucchini or any summer or winter squash. I would say you can use any vegetables of your liking in this recipe because nobody will be able to make out what you've added. You will understand what I mean by that at the end of this video. I like adding a dry bay leaf, then dried kasuri methi. Usually fresh fenugreek leaves are added. Unfortunately, I get fresh fenugreek leaves only at the Indian grocery store and it is far from my home, so dried fenugreek leaves is just as good. If you have fresh mint, then please do use that. I don't, so I use dried mint leaves. But one thing that I usually always have is fresh coriander leaves, and I happily added a handful of it, stalks and all. Again added a cup of hot water, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of salt, and about a teaspoon of oil. Give a good mix. Lid on, high heat. Once it comes up to full pressure, reduce heat to low and pressure cook it for 15 minutes if using a regular pressure cooker or 20 minutes if using an instant pot. While that's happening, let's make the Dhansak masala. And I'm telling you, my friend, this masala brings life to the dish. In a pan over low heat, add coriander seeds, black peppercorns, cloves, green cardamoms, star anise, fenugreek seeds. Do not add too much fenugreek as they are bitter to taste. Then black mustard seeds and finally cinnamon stick. You can even add a teaspoon of cumin seeds to this along with a few red chilies. I add red chili powder separately so that I have more control over the heat level. Stir the spices on low heat till they become fragrant, but do not stir for too long as they may get bitter. You will not need all of that masala for this recipe. Store the rest in an airtight jar and you can use it in any curry. When you see the coriander seeds starting to get little bit brown, that's an indication to take the spices off heat. Transfer immediately onto a plate and allow them to cool down completely. Once they cool down, put them in a spice or coffee grinder. I usually break the cinnamon stick so that the blades of my spice grinder do not get damaged. At the end, I add about a little more than half a teaspoon of ground mace, or you can even use ground nutmeg. A final blitz and you've got yourself something extremely aromatic. Okay, back to the pressure cooker. 15 minutes done. Switch off the cooker and allow all that pressure to be released naturally. Once all that pressure is released naturally, carefully open the lid of the cooker. And I know it doesn't look good, I must admit that, but please do not switch to the next video. Believe me, my friend, the end product will be really delicious. Now with the help of a potato masher or with the back of your spoon, mash everything very well. Remove the bay leaf as its job is done. You can even use a hand blender to make it smoother. Personally, I do not like it to be too smooth. I like that texture to it. Okay, pan out, heat 4 tablespoons of oil, add sliced onions and fry on high heat. Once you see the edges of the onions turning little brown, lower the heat to medium and stir the onions frequently till they turn golden brown. Now once they come to this stage, which took me about 7 to 8 minutes, I took half of them out. I will be using this when making the rice. Next, coming to the spice powders. Turmeric, Kashmiri red chili powder. Add a splash of water and then a good 1 heaped tablespoon of the Dhansak masala that was prepared earlier. Mix for just a second and then add the tomatoes. Add little bit of salt. Remember that we added salt while cooking the dal, so add less now. Green chilies for that heat. You can also add a tablespoon of ginger garlic paste at this point. I like to keep it simple today. Once the tomatoes turn mushy, take about 2 ladlefuls of the dal and mix well with the tomato spice mixture. Once everything is well mixed, add the rest of the dal. Now Dhansak dal is on the thicker side, but this looks too thick to me, so I again added about little less than a cup of hot water. Dhansak though is a popular Parsi dish and is prepared on weekends, but it is also prepared on the 4th day after the death of a near and dear one. Okay, I did a taste test and found the need of adding more salt. Sprinkle of lemon juice and Dhansak dal is all done. Coming to preparing the Dhansak rice. I have taken a cup of basmati rice which I have rinsed thoroughly and soaked in water for about half an hour. After 30 minutes, drain all that water and move on to making the caramel for the rice. In a pan, take about a teaspoon of ghee. You can even use oil. Once the ghee melts, add a little less than a tablespoon of sugar. Now guys, please do not rush this process and please keep a watchful eye while making the caramel. Start on a medium-low heat. The sugar will melt and once you see the sugar starting to change color, lower the heat to low. It will first take a golden brown color. Then the color will deepen and darken and it will start bubbling, and once you see those vigorous bubbles, immediately shut off the heat and very carefully add about 1/4 of a cup of hot water. Now a word of caution here, add the water standing far back as it will splatter. Then heat back on medium and allow it to boil for a few seconds. Caramel is all done, heat off and keep it aside. In a pot, add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add a dried bay leaf and green cardamoms. Please crack open the green cardamoms a little bit before adding to the hot oil and cinnamon stick. Fry the spices for 2 seconds and add whole cumin seeds. Then remember those onions that we had saved earlier? Time for those to join the party along with the rice. Stir the rice for a few seconds and then add 2 teaspoons of Dhansak masala. Next the caramel goes in. We used a cup of rice, so it needs 2 cups of liquid. You can even use vegetable broth. We used 1/4 of a cup of water to make the caramel. So now I will be adding 1 3/4 of a cup of water. Then salt. Keep it on medium heat. You will soon see the rice swelling up and the water level going down. When you see more of rice on the surface, it's time to cover on low heat for 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, lid off Discard those whole spices and taste the rice. They should be soft but little bit chewy. Lightly fluff it up and sprinkle of lemon juice for that freshness. Then again lid on, off heat, and do not allow anyone to open the lid before 15 minutes because all that magic will happen in those 15 minutes. While the magic is happening, I made a quick salad with chopped cucumber, tomatoes, and red onions. Sprinkle of lemon juice and salt. I'm telling you guys, this salad adds a wonderful freshness along with the brown rice and dal. Please smash that like button and help this video reach more people. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.